welcome back to the Arbor League. I'm ArborAndy, and today we're going to be taking a look at level 50 GOLBAT in the Ultra League. Yes, this is from last season, as you can tell, because we've got some Ray gear there. But then this team still works well this season. We've got Obstagoon in the lead, and then we've got Talonflame and GOLBAT protecting it from the fighters and the charmers. So Walrein comes in here. This is where we want to see it. Fire up against Paradise here. We can take the first Icicle Spear, but we don't want to be getting too low where we can get farmed down, so we're going to have to use one shield in this. Go for this Flame Charge, and if this wall range shields, then we might have to use our second shield, which they do. But let's see how much these Incinerates do. We might be able to get to one more. We do, but they throw as they think we would throw on CMP, which is totally fine because we didn't click, so we can shield this one and safely farm all the way down before they're able to get to another spear. Then we got the Machamp coming in here, and we swapped to the Talonflame, which was the soft counter, because GOLBAT is the hard counter to Machamp, because it double resists the fighting moves, because of the poison and the flying type. Also, the Rock Slide still hurts GOLBAT, but it hurts Talonflame more, so shieldless at this point is okay. We have a Venusaur coming in, and every time I see a Venusaur with my GOLBAT, they surrender, so that's always a good game. Love to see it. Up in the next fight, terrible lead up against Machamp here, so I believe we do go into Talonflame again, and we do. Sometimes they stay in just to get a little bit of energy. They retreat with a Cross Trap at least, and another Fire type comes in, and this is awkward. The Talonflame leads with other Fire leads are kind of awkward, but at least these are Typhlosions. The Flame Charge doesn't KO or get Typhlosion that low, sorry. So we have to go for at least one more before they start getting pretty low. The problem is that we have to shield at least one Blast Burn, which we do, because this would be getting us pretty low. They're close to 2. We might throw one more, and they're at another. So this one is not going to KO. It'll get us pretty low here. But we've made that Flame Charge, because that Incinerate went through, so we can just Brave Bird on the way in. But the Machamp wins CMP, so that's unfortunate. At this point, we can just let it go, because we can't afford to be going 2 shields down against the 2-shielded Machamp here. That's just awful. So come back in with the GOLBAT. They're trying to build up to a Rock Slide, and I'm just trying to get to a Poison Fang here just for any damage. I'm not afraid of the Rock Slide KOing, so I should have gone for the return there. And yes, we are running return on the GOLBAT. I did TM it this season to Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is the preferred moveset, and the moveset that you should run, because return takes a little bit longer to get to, doesn't get stab, and I mean, it does help in some situations, excuse me, but Shadow Ball's probably better. And GOLBAT is pretty good. He's a little bit bulkier than Crobat in the Ultra League. This one's only 2200 something. He wasn't best buddy at the time, he is now. He has a little bit higher CV, closer to 2300 if not a little bit over here. So he's still pretty viable. He's still a good charm defense. Goon countering the Machamp down, and that is a good game. Goon being a Machamp counter confirmed in that match. Love to see it. Up against Cresselia, here's not the greatest lead. They could hit us with Moonblast, so I'm retreating into GOLBAT, which is good because, well, I should have gone into the Talonflame, because then that's where we want to see the Walrein. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, just trying to lower the defense of the Walrein to come in and counter down with Goon. Trying to get some Night Slashes off on the Cresselia. But what's good is that both Talonflame and GOLBAT double resist both of Cresselia's moves if they're not running Future Sight or Aurora Beam. Aurora Beam's super effective to GOLBAT, but neutral to Talonflame because of the fire. Throwing an Earthquake here still doesn't KO, but still kind of hurts. But we need to save our shields for that Cresselia coming in. We're resisting the Psycho Cuts, and we want to get these 2 Night Slashes off. First one isn't going to be doing too much damage, but the second one, they might have to start shielding if we get a boost. We don't get the boost out of the first one, which is okay. Getting them down to almost half health, resisting the Psycho Cuts. Nobody's used the shield yet, so we're going to go ahead and shield. I know it's going to be a grass knot, but it's going to get us very low. We want to get at least one more Night Slash off. They're still not retreating. I do believe they shield this because it's going to be getting them low. They do. Try to get one more grass knot off, and I'm content just taking this on the Talonflame there after the switch clock coming up. Because, again, double resisted both moves, and I knew they were going to throw a grass knot anyways. And in comes the Typhlosion. So this is good. The one Blast Bird doesn't KO, so we can let the first one go. And they... up to them to decide to shield. We're not going to Brave Bird right away, so the second Flame Charge will start adding up here. Try to get on par with their fast moves as well. They win CMP. Very unfortunate. So we're going to have to shield this one. Blast Burn coming through, not doing too much with their shields. Their shields down. Flame Charge will get them quite low, and I'm hoping that I can either counter down or catch something here. Throw there. Catch on the Goon. They continue to farm. And I think they encountered some lag like we did there. They overtapped, so we get our Night Slash off, take out the Typhlosion, and get the boost to add insult to injury. They're gonna have to throw a grass knot, but we win CMP, and it's gonna be good night. Sleep tight for this Cresselia here. Night Slash, good night. On to the next one here. We got Obstagoon and a Typhlosion. Again, kind of where we want to see it, either here or against Talonflame. And Shadow Claw, which makes it even better because we're double resisting these normal or ghost type Shadow Claws against the normal dark type. They let the Night Slash through. They continue to farm even better. We get another Night Slash off. I don't know why the opponent's not swapping out. They must be extremely weak to Goon in the back, so they're going to have to start shielding. And I'm going to catch the Blast Burn on the Talonflame, which we do. And hopefully they only have 2. Next one, I believe I do start to shield, just observe some health. We don't want to get sniped by something, because they still have switch advantage, but they're still not swapping out, because they must be extremely weak to both Goon and Talonflame, which there's pretty good out there. Like, it counters the Trevenant Walrein Core pretty good, and here's our Charms coming in, and all we have is a Talonflame and Golbat, so this is looking pretty good here. I do believe we get to one more Flame Charge. Up them to shield this. I mean, they don't know our third Pokemon, but it's poison type, so they do to shield. And I could have done them dirty here. I could have caught in the Psyshock on the Obstagoon, but the Psyshock is non-stab on Golbat, so we don't have to worry too much about it. It does about half health, but shields are down, and they're staying in because they've got just a Machamp, I think that was. And again, I could have gone for the return, but I had a shield, gonna lower their defense twice, and hopefully counter down with the Goon again, because we know that Goons are a Machamp, counter confirmed, but they do throw. And why am I shielding? I could've just countered down with the Goon in case they had another move on Sylveon there, but this is alright because they were low enough where they get Wing Attack down, so almost found the lose condition there, but still ended up taking that win, which is good. And in the lead, we have a Swampert here. This is where we want to see it up against the Obstagoon because now Golbat does okay against it, but again, we have return, so it takes too long to get to. Would have been better with Shadow Ball. The Mudshots are neutral, but we don't have to worry about getting Mudshot down. They do retreat, which, what was this again? They were going into, a Pelipper. So here comes Golbat here, and have to keep in mind that the Swampert does have 2 Hydro Cannons or an Earthquake, depending on what the options are later. And this Pelipper is just going to outpace us with the Weather Balls and win CMP here, which is really unfortunate. So we're going to have to show one of them. And this Golbat also is Purified, so it was a Shadow 98, I believe, and I just said the heck with it, just Purify it. Let's just get CP as high as possible here. Gonna try to lower their defense as much as possible here and just try to counter down and leave with energy on the Goon and save the shields. But they have a Walrein in the back, which is also not good because we have probably do this with a Talonflame and get some counter damage off later on. Bad thing is we're getting farmed down because we can't switch out, otherwise they switch out, and switch really matters here because we don't want that Talonflame on Swampert. So I'm going to come in here just to force the Walrein to throw some energy here and hopefully bait out the Swampert here. He's staying in, and here it comes. I couldn't switch out in time, so now we have to eat a Hydro Cannon And yeah, Shadows is going to take us out, and we're not going to make this because they have 2 shields, and 2 Night Chances does not KO, so I'm trying to counter down as much as possible, and I said, heck, just throw your move, get this over with. Shadow Swampert, too much for this team to handle, and GG's for us. If you guys enjoyed today's team, leave a like and a comment, tell me what you think. I've been ArborAndy, and I'll see you guys later.